welcome to Nicole's Test Kitchen Craft Edition. Today I am doing a repeat of what I tried to do last week, which is tie-dye. Hopefully everything will work out. I've been having a few glitches with Facebook. Anyway, so yes, today I am doing tie-dye, and I'm using tie-dye from a kit. This week I am using a kit from Art Minds. Last week I tried it with a kit from Tulip Color. So both are good, and I'll show you examples. My examples today are the ones I did with the Tulip Color, but what I'm showing you today is the Art Minds, and I'm going to show you 4 different patterns, and so bear with me as I move my camera a little bit because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So my face will be out of it, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing with my hand. So let me just fix that. All right. Let's see. Is there more? Hopefully you can see. Okay, so I am going to demonstrate to you today 4 different patterns, and I'm going to show you actually how I created the patterns using a test shirt because I've already tied the other shirts and the bag that I'm doing because I didn't want to take up too much time showing you me rubber banding. So I'm just taking a plain white shirt, and let's see, can you see? Oh my goodness, let me see if I can make this better. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing. Moving it. Let me just move my chair out of the way here. More. How I mess around with the camera, it always seems to mess up. Okay, so basically the first one, or one of the patterns I'm going to show you, is called the swirl, and basically you take your shirt in the middle, kind of raise it up, and you're just twirling, twirling till you have a twirled circle. So it looks kind of like this, and then you just rubber band it or tie it across, and so you create 6 different sections. So that's the twirl. The other pattern, one of the other patterns I'm doing today is called the bullseye. And with the bullseye, you just take the shirt in wherever you want the bullseye to be the center of the bullseye. You take that and you just put it up, and you twist and you tie it like that. And then you're going to tie all the way down. So however big you want your colors to be, you just tie it all the way down. And then the other one we're doing today is kind of a stripe pattern. So you just take your shirt and you decide on how you want it. If you want it vertical, the horizontal stripes, you would just do a vertical, and the other way around you would fold it the other way. So it's just folding it kind of in an accordion pattern. So flip one over, kind of fold it, and then I flip to the back, and I just keep doing that all the way across until I have it all the way folded. And then from here, you just again rubber band it from the top, and you just rubber band all the way down into different sections. And then last but not least, the other pattern I'm going to show you today is called the starburst pattern. So you take your shirt or whatever, or the thing you're tie-dyeing, and you decide where you want your starburst to be, or sunbursts. And you just kind of, you pull up and you just wrap your rubber band into different sections, and you can, depending on how many sunbursts you want to put on your item, you just do those little pull-ups. So that was my test shirt, and again, I'm going to mess around with my camera. I apologize for these wacky camera angles, but I just can't seem to get it the way I want it. There. All right, that's better. I hope you'll be able to see. And let me get started. So first I'm going to do the starburst pattern. And I'm doing it on a bag, and you see I've already put in the where I want my sunbursts. Gosh, I keep saying them the wrong way. So what I do here is I've made 5 sunbursts, and what I'm going to do is going to dye them the sunburst one color. So just these little ends I'm dyeing with one color, and then the rest of the bag I'll dye a different color. So the effect would be that you'd have these different bursts. So I am going to put on some gloves. And the dyes from Art Mine are already pre-mixed, and I just have to shake them. I have a variety of different colors. And so for this bag, I think I am going to do I'm gonna do a pink rose sunburst, and then make the bag a sky blue. Okay, so I'm gonna pick my color as well. Gonna open the tip, and I'm just going to dye. Oops, a little overzealous here. So there'll be a little bits of color. So just dyeing my little sunbursts. So okay, and then I'll dye the rest of the bag this blue color. Basically just, well, let me just check on something here. Oh, of course, there's a seal. This is not normally the way I'd open a seal, but I'm in a little bit of a hurry. So let's try that again. Oh, and now it's just coming out the bottom. Okay, let's try something a little different. I'll have a little bit of blue because I just spilled. Alright, so we'll have it pink and yellow, I guess. So I'm just putting the dye And I'm going to leave bits of white so that will add some other dimension. And of course I'll have my little tag of blue. Okay. So now I am going to wrap it in plastic wrap, and I'm going to leave it wrapped in plastic wrap for a minimum of 8 hours so that all the color soaks in. And then after the 8 hours, I will rinse it in cold water to get any excess dye out. And then after rinsing it, then I'll wash it again in cold water by itself, or with your other tie-dyes, or with things that you don't mind that might, you know. I think last time I washed it with towels because I didn't care too much if it ran a little bit. The reason why I like to, I just washed it with other things is that I don't like to waste the whole thing of a whole wash on just a few items. But again, you can, if you just rinse it beforehand, you can pretty much make sure that. Alright, my plastic wrap job isn't the greatest here, but that'll do the trick. Alright, I'm just gonna probably do one more. Seal it in here. Okay, move that to the side. And I'm going to fold up this thing. I'm going to take these gloves off and move this out of the way. You'll notice I am using white plastic bags because last time I used black plastic bags and I couldn't see the dye, and I ended up getting dye on my other things. So starting with a clean slate and doing the twirl or the swirl. So I swirled it and I separated it out into 6 sections. This I'm going to put dye on both sides, and hopefully the same corresponding dye for each section. Let me get on my new pair of gloves. And let's see. So this one I'm going to do shades of fruit colors. I have peach, I have apricot, and let's see. Well, this is not a fruit, but it's rose. And let's see. I think I had a candy red, so that's food related. Okay, so hopefully these are all open. Making sure they have open. Oh, and try not to squeeze at the same time you're trying to open stuff. Okay, so I'm going to start with this rose and start dyeing my sections. You can see, dye, dye, dye. And I forgot, of course, and I hope you've noticed, that the shirts are in the bag are already pre-soaked. They're soaked. They're wet. I forgot to mention that. Oops. This does like to. And so I'm coloring each of the sections different color. Okay. Oops, I need 2 more colors, so I guess I'll do the 2 other versions of shades of red and orange. Did I do this one? Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that should be, well, I might have made a mistake. That's all right. A couple of colors will be the same. And now I'm just gonna flip it over and try to remember which colors went where. But actually, I'm just gonna do free for all. We'll see what happens. Because I should have been more logical about what colors went where. But I got flustered. And so I am fairly new to tie-dyeing, so this was the real first time I've done it. And so that's why I decided to use a kit. Usually I like to doing the DIY and finding other ways to do things. But for this, I thought I'd just start with a kit and then explore other ways that you can do tie-dye. I know there's a way that you can tie-dye with food coloring, but when I was looking into it, it looked a little bit more complicated than I was ready to start with. Alright, so this is my swirl in shades of orange. So I'm gonna put that to the side and move out my colors. And take my gloves off and move out. Okay. And so my next one will be, this one is the Bullseye pattern. So I had picked a spot on the shirt where I wanted the bullseye to be the top, and then I just wrapped all the way down. Okay. So, next colors. Let me just check on my dyes here. Oh, that one's open. And this one's open. Open. Just had forgotten that one, I guess. Okay. Okay, so let me get my gloves on. And so I'm going to make my bullseye yellow. Oh, it helps to open. All the way through yellow. And then I'm going to do shades of blue and green. And see, just getting it all the way blue. Okay, and do some green. Oops. Next one might be a couple colors, shades of green. Another shade of green. All right, and so I'm going to end on yellow. Start and finish with yellow. Oops. And then I'll probably do this turquoise again, because I like that color. Whoops. Getting a little enthusiastic with my squirting here. Okay, so now I'm gonna wrap this. I'm actually gonna twist it a little bit and then wrap it. Well, I'm gonna try to unwrap it, or wrap it, I mean, unwrap. Of course, sometimes when you're working with cling wrap, you think you have it all figured out, and it likes to play with you a little bit. Oh, for crying out loud. Try to get it all contained here. Oops. Okay, move that one out of the way. Move my colors out. And I've got one more to show you, or to do for you today. And that one is going to be the striped pattern. So just to refresh your memory, I what I did is I did an accordion fold of the shirt and then wrapped the rubber bands around. Okay, so my pair of gloves. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do shades of purple and pink. And maybe a sneaky bit of apricot. Ugh. Okay, so I'm going to start with, actually I'm going to start with dark on the end, some dark purple. And I'm actually gonna do dark purple at the other end, kind of tie it together. Okay. And now I'm gonna do light purple. And so I'm trying to get it all thoroughly soaked. Probably, and it seems like I might be using a lot of dye, but then you have to do it for things to run a little bit. And I'm actually going to do this end dark light purple. Doesn't look really light purple right now, but colors do tend to shift a bit once they're dry. Oops. Okay. And now I'm going to work, I think I'm going to do this apricot kind of in the center. And it may be an odd color to throw in there, but I like to add a little bit of chaos. Alright, and so then I'll end on 2 different shades of pink. Okay. Okay. So I am going to wrap this up. Kind of fold it a little bit. And after I wrap this up, I'll show you a couple of examples of my previous tie-dyes. Okay, let me just put these out of the way. And let me just show you my previous. So this is a bag that I created. And this is the bullseye pattern. You see the bullseye is in the center there. And then, this one might be a little bit more hard to see the pattern because I used a shirt that was already a pink shirt. But this one had the swirl pattern. And you can see the swirl right here. So that was the swirl. So that's all today for Nicole's Test Kitchen Craft Edition. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you all next time. Have a great day.